Hey everyone, it's Dean Soto, and we're here again. Dean Soto from Freedom in 5 Minutes. I should reiterate that as well. So this is Dean Soto with Freedom in 5 Minutes, and today we're going to talk about organizational resistance to change, mainly out of fear. And we'll talk about how to overcome that and what you can do with that. So, all that being said, excited to be here with you. If you haven't checked it out, have already I've already done a three-part series. First part just came out yesterday, and you can go check that out. It's on how to develop better delegation skills. All right, so organizational resistance to change. This is something that it happens with every organization. You get so locked into how things work right now, right? How things are going right now, and there's two types of resistance actually. The first resistance is actually from the employees, right? That is not always the most powerful, even though it might seem like that's the most powerful. A lot of the times, it is the resistance to change and to push that change from the top, from the business owner. In fact, I was one of my clients is a real estate company. They do property management, and about half of their employees were so they hired me to come in the first place to help them with their systems and organizational structure and everything like that. The half of their employees were like, yes, this is awesome, I love it, this yeah, let's get some documented systems in place, let's get these processes going, it's gonna be awesome. And then the other half were like, yeah, I'm too busy, I got all this stuff to do. I'm so much in the weeds right now that there's no way I can actually create a video and do all this stuff to get things documented and have these virtual systems architects from freedomin5minutes.com have those virtual systems architects actually do the tasks, right? So you had that half, right? Well, the thing was that the half that was raring to go, that half that half just boom did it, and they had no problem making videos. They had no problem getting everything documented. In fact, they saw, gosh, it was like 60 days. They saw a triple in revenue just in that particular part of the organization. On the flip side, the ones who didn't, they were waiting for the boss. They were waiting for the man in charge to say, you need to do this. You need to set aside time to do this. This needs to happen. Well, the guy who was in charge, he was kind of on the he obviously hired me to come in, but he also had all this other stuff that he wanted to do. And so he never really pushed those other people to sit and do, really, they just needed to do a couple 5-minute videos and that was it. Never really pushed them. And so on one hand, he sees this side of the organization just boom skyrocket, right? But then you have this other part of the organization staying stagnant, completely stagnant. And for him, the ones who were causing the most day-to-day issues were actually the ones who were staying stagnant still. So you had the accountant, you had a couple of other people who were managing tenants and things like that, who would constantly come in, ask a question, come back, constantly come in, ask a question, come back. They would be overwhelmed. They do it. And so he, aside from seeing the boom jump in revenue, he actually didn't see much of a change in his own day to day because he was constantly getting dragged back in. So it wasn't until he said, hey, boom, guys, and he made in his head that he was going to make the change, that no matter what, everybody has to follow the leader at some point in time. My organization is the same way. I have to push the change. I have to push what needs to be done. Okay. And so if I need to push that, if it, in fact, I'm thinking of something right now that I need to push. That's why I stuttered a little bit. But I'm the one that has to push that change. Yes, there's going to be people who are totally willing to jump on board on the change, but the people who are either resistant, and it's not necessarily resistant out of out of not wanting to do the thing. A lot of the time is resistance out of fear. They don't want to get in trouble, right? They don't want to get in trouble. They don't want to lose their job. There's several reasons why somebody might not do what they might not come on board, right, and do what actually needs to be done in order to change. So it wasn't until he was like, you know what, everybody has to do this. You need to set aside X amount of time to create videos, to get them documented so that these virtual systems architects can go and start documenting these things and then doing the stuff that you guys don't really need to be doing in the first place. And so once that happened, once the leader got on board and said, I do have the authority, I do have the capability to push these people to do what I need them to do. Once he did that, that's when the change started happening, right? That's when this change started happening. Because a lot of the times, even as leaders, even as business owners, we think that, oh my gosh, they're going to put my people out. they're going to want to leave. They're going to think I'm a big meanie. I'm a tyrant or whatever. But if you give clear direction, you will, when you give clear direction, you will, one, you'll earn their respect, but two, you'll actually get the thing done that you want. Yes, it's going to hurt. Yes, you might get some pushback, but you just say, hey, look, don't worry about it. You can be really nice about it. And just like, for example, I need my guys to send off a ton of cold emails. Right, because I have a sales guy that's waiting on cold emails to happen, and it just popped in my head. And this is something that they've never had to really do before. I shouldn't say that. They've done it before, but they're doing it for somebody else, which is a little bit, when they do it for me, it's one thing. So they're like, yeah, the boss needs it. But when they're doing it for this other sales guy, they're not quite used to it. So I actually have to go and I'm going to say right after I get off of this, guys, by Friday, so in a few days, all of these cold emails need to be sent. All of them. Every single cold email needs to be sent. That way, they know the expectation. They know that every week, all of the cold emails need to be sent. Every single week. And if I waited on them to do it, or if I kind of prodded them or whatever, it would not happen. Right? I have to give the expectation that I want, clear, specific, metric-based expectations. I can go and see if every cold email has been sent. I can literally go and see if every single one has been sent. And I can see it through metrics. I can see it through numbers. And if they can't meet that, then there's another problem that we have to address, right? So when you as the boss give clear direction and you give clear expectations, clear results, a lot of the times that helps out with that organizational change as well, that resistance, because they want to know, okay, well, if I do make this change, like, what are you expecting of me, right? And even with this is what I'm expecting of my guys, all of them to be done, because a lot of them are just sitting there. The way that we do our cold emails, we write these custom lines and then we send them off. And there's literally hundreds of them right now, and only 25 have been sent. So I need all of those hundreds, and it's not hard to do the 100, but all of them need to be sent. So those are the two big things. So it's you're gonna get the resistance from employees, your staff members. However, you're also going to have that internal resistance that once you give clear expectations, you say, hey, I need you to spend time on this, and this. I need you to allocate time, and this is the result that I want. A lot of the time, the whole resistance to that organizational change will go away. And you have to keep on pushing it, because sometimes people fall back into the old ways. You can also use automation tools to help with that, and reminders and things like that. But ultimately, you're the one who's going to be determining that change. Okay, so what's one thing right now that you are struggling with when it comes to organizational change, that if you just made the decision to let your folks know, hey, if you allocate this time, that's what I want you to do, and then this is what I want the result to be. I want I want this to be done by the end of the week or the end of 3 weeks. What's one thing right now that you can do? For me, it's the cold emails right now. Perfect example. They're not used to sending it for other people. Now they're going to be sending it for other people, and I want all of them done. All of them done by Friday, which is not hard. It's literally copy and paste for the most part. So yeah, this is how you kind of overcome that organizational resistance. Another big way is through having standard operating procedures and just creating the procedure, creating the process, and saying, do this thing. And the best way to do that is to go to freedomin5minutes.com. And in 5 minutes, you can have a virtual systems architect document a process for you, and then you never have to do it again, because if you hire them, they can do that process for you as well. So check that out. We have a masterclass. We have a couple of other things there, super high value stuff. Go to freedomin5minutes.com, check that out. And don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and all that other stuff. But all right, this is Dean Soto with Freedom in 5 Minutes. I'll catch you in the next video.